CitizenCon 2954.
So, if we see here some of our existing data sets on our planets, we have temperature, which we define locally and globally.
Building blocks, like grass and common grass, medium amounts of sunlight. We have
a year, and we'll be able to shed leaves from trees and have the grass wither in winter. But it also allows us to generate the terrain in much higher resolution, which means all the popping you can see on the mountains as we're approaching, all of that should be complete.
Our planets. We've taken off all the assets so you can see the issue. And now how it looks, you don't see those lines going at all. Each tree individually, all the way down to the ground.
As you walk or swim through the water, you may come across obstacles like logs or debris floating on the surface. They will react to the player character and can be pushed to 8 different biomes, making for some unique locations.
So to hit that bit of our benchmark, we make sure that locations are near each other and group them together. The effect it gives is a fully developed landscape with vistas and points of interest all over, ranging between 10 to 15 locations each. And we group this into what we call a sector. And every single one of these locations is now ready for the mission system to hook up and give you gameplay, and for you to find a bunch of places on your own.
The scene. If you add the transparency GI system, suddenly the whole scene comes alive. These open areas benefit in the same way as the forest scene did, adding areas of shade and areas of open lighting. Like I mentioned, the time of day shifting leads to different ambience as the sun moves.
Bit of a sense of threat. Just moving, they're forming naturally and changing shape. They dissipate as they go. We can start to see the changes in visibility of the area. Light precipitation is starting. Previously, recommend deviation.
Now, this is the new and improved friends list. So you'll notice, sadly, one of our oldest friends that we all have is missing, though, and that's ATC. Sadly, our friendship has ended with ATC.
What? I'll have no friends at all then.
We're going to have a block list. And we like to think of block people as reverse friends. They're just people that you really don't want to talk to anymore. So what we're trying to do is we're doing something called black holing them from communications. So you can't see them talk, and they can't see you talk.
We're adding options for you to customize the chat window, giving you the power to make the... Well, you'll see why you want to link items in our Crafting Your Home presentation tomorrow.
Drive.
That's correct. I'm sat here in the comfort of my own home, talking to you via the power of FOIP and my webcam. Let's see how many wrinkle maps we can trigger, huh? Through a few of them here to show you that whatever we choose, we're still tracking, and we're good to go.
Running quality loss or even full audio loss. What are we doing to improve the overall infrastructure behind VoIP?
The Party Finder. So, the Party Finder, it's a dynamic system that's going to make it easy for you to find interesting and engaging sound. So, you will see. Yeah, maybe that's worth applause.
Yeah, of course we are. So, ultimately, we want to encourage you all to help one another. And it's very important for a game as large and as complex. And base building's a great example of that, which is a little teaser there.
So first off, tying into the guide stuff, we're adding a new type of beacon. So guide beacons. It means that if you are a guide, you'll be able to respond to them. If you need a guide, you broadcast them. And if you need a guide, you're successful with 2 beacons. So, well, at least you can assess the situation before going into it. It ensures your safety when doing a good deed. And yeah, I think that's it for beacons. So, well,
We've got
AJ?
one more big thing I guess we need to talk about, right? Which we're really excited for. So you can search by name if there's an infamous org you've encountered out there in the me.
Crime and
It's gonna be your one-stop shop for joining or finding players for your org.
Tough to get everyone on at the same time, right? So use this for your Convoy Tuesdays, Casual Fridays, holding hands in Horizon Saturdays, whatever you want.
getting crushed by the Buccaneers on Monday.
That's Gabriel's favorite.
It is my favorite.
Remember that.
So sending it in chats, in world, and if you're not interested in this stuff, anything you do that benefits the org while you are representing it will gain you loyalty with them.
Alliances and go to war. And there are many reasons to make friends. You might want to have trading.
Org wingmen will come in a dark green, and your allied orgs in a paler green. Will show up in red.
Or people
And
in your kill list.
the kill list, people on your kill list that we mentioned before, will also show up in red or orange. If you're not, well, they're not.
Various clothing and armors we specialized. This is by no means a comprehensive list of everything we have available to us. It's just a little. When combat takes into the limit of human endurance. And finally, this excels at G-force resistance, but it loses its protection and has much weaker EVA capability and stability. We have some major trade-offs. You're going to lose your mobility. So as we compare the stats, whilst not as tough as our combat armor, it does gain an increase in mobility. So with the best stealth and fantastic speed, it's a must for any players looking to assassinate, infiltrate, or in this case,
we have our apex, which has the most valuable harvestables and the most deadly attacks. It's also the biggest living thing in the verse. So adult cave Valakar look like? What does an apex quasi-grazer look like? Well, it's these questions that get everyone excited. Release the Kraken!
To transit systems, taking you deep into the underbelly, eventually reaching the municipal works. And the municipal works will have spaces like maintenance, filtration, and the sewer network. And you guessed it, eventually you'll get access to level B03, and we continue deeper. With each level you unlock, you access new areas for new missions. The fourth system will be Castra. Humans and the Xi'an enjoy a more prosperous relations, and everyone's cool. Okay. Then we have Castra 2. The second, it's too close to the sun to be terraformed for human habitation. So instead, the UEE Navy used Castra 1 for target practice, giving it the nickname of Bullseye. All the weapon tests, and this was the location of the military's staging area.
Designing lets you create process materials that you're going to need to craft your upgraded blueprints. So now that you've gathered all these materials, what do you do with them? Currently, your only options in the game really are to sell them to a shop or maybe complete a contract. Got a lot here, but it's all optional. You can choose to focus on gathering resources and sell them to crafters that need them.
You provide the recipe to perform all kinds of crafting processes.
This library is persistent to your character, and every blueprint you claim is yours forever.
Measurement of how good it is at being whatever it is. Materials you find in the verse will have a quality rating that's generated based on some.
Especially for the more advanced blueprints, you can expect that it will require materials for more. Let me give you a simple example. If you want high-quality steel, you need to put in the best iron you have in the produce, but also in the infrastructure to produce your wares. Just to give you an idea what you will encounter, here are some examples of the crafting machines. You are free to be a generalist crafter, a specialist, or something in between. Pick the blueprints you care about and be the best.
We aim to have meaningful item stats for all craftable items, but some examples would be the damage and fire rate of a gun, the wear resistance of a ship component, or even the satiation provided by eating a hot dog. By using an upgrade blueprint to increase the tier of an existing vehicle, including see how the recoil is reduced on our high-tier gun. The spooling is faster on a high-tier quantum drive. And a high-tier scraper beam is much more effective.
Specialists that are sought out to get certain things crafted from. With the ever-expanding game we all love, we will continuously expand our crafting to offer you long-term progression.
We found a beautiful location by a lake. This is where we'll build ourselves a home. Structures. As we've already found the location and don't need to claim land in Lawless Pyro, we can straight dive into building our base. The top of the card gives us a controllable augmented view of the land. In the new structure mode, we'll pick a small basic structure and hit construct. For this demo, the construction will be instantaneous. But in the final product, this will test are still off, and that is a problem. Because no lights means no things inside construction ER mode. But we'll explain this later. Fuel power is quick and easy to build. The fuse, the longer it lasts. This is where the fuse goes on this building. Activated here. Wow. Declan has been busy decorating the place.
Specialized, not yet revealed base building vehicle, and he's built as this. It is the construction hub. This has 4 automated drones compared to the grav cars. All right, there we go. So we've settled on one of the brand new underground resources, and it is important to note that once these things are set up, it's not a case of just free resources forever. As talked about earlier with Thorsten, of course we want this. It is our refinery. Once again, there are multiple types here. This one is the large solid matter refinery. We have liquid and gas again, as well as biological, depending on the type of materials that you're using and want to produce. Base is really starting to build up now, but it's possible. And with base building, we're introducing the concept of a freight elevator network. What this will allow you to do is it will allow you to link multiple freight elevators together, and in turn they will share the same storage. So as we're doing here, we'll deposit engines that we can set up, granting people access to our base, and they can even build their own structures if they wish. We can also give them access to existing structures, which is how you can form your org storage using those freight elevators.
Okay, so what we're seeing here is the in-game version of the CSV. It's complete with its 4 SCU of cargo up on the rear. And I think the CSV kind of really builds on what Argo is known for as a manufacturer. It's got those kind of like really kind of hard industrial...
Get it to fit in, so it fits in vehicles from a Cutlass Black upwards. It's approximately, and everyone always asks me, what ship fits in what? And I lose track of it all the time. It's about the size of a Tumbrel Cyclone. So if you can put a Cyclone in a vehicle, you can put one of these in it.
A little bit of a closer look at it now. I think the Star Lancer kind of really fully encapsulates MISC's kind of ability to create beautiful ships. It's got this bulbous design that really helps to kind of convey its underlying structure and its underlying strength. I think as a whole, I think the engineers or MISC have done an exceptional job in creating a vehicle that kind of fully encapsulates.
You'll see it has the drone bays on each side, and then it has the drones that will then be deployed out of their little secret garages, and they go off and do what you've asked them to do. When they need to resupply, they'll come back, sit on these arms, suck up their resources that they need, carry on their day. That's the really important thing. So this is the TAC in its default paint, so sort of military drab grey. Then internally, obviously Ben talked about the size 5 turrets. Then we have some drop seats.
2 size 3 shield generators. It's got the med bay with the tier 3 med beds, drop seats, it's got a hangar, and it's still able to carry up to 96 SCU of cargo. Kind of building mechanics. It needs to support all our current metrics, and I don't mean just character metrics, I mean all metrics, because we're going to be creating a lot of things inside this ship. We wanted it to kind of concept and where it's at on the interior. We start out on the interior bridge. It's very spacious, or command deck bridge, whatever you want to call it. It gives kind of really nice views out over the front of the ship. And right up front, you've got all the consoles required that you need to kind of control the ship, as well as the kind of additional remote turret access consoles. And then at the rear, we have the main kind of navigation components and some small engineering consoles. And kind of flanking either side, we've got these 2 corridors, and they lead out to the manned turrets that kind of sit above the bridge. And they also have all the escape pods needed for all the bridge crew. Like I say, we want this to kind of be a home away from home, so we have a very large, comfortable habitation area. Each of the crew members, they get their own individual crew pod. And one of the nice things about this is these actually open up, and they allow kind of each crew member to kind of decide like how much privacy they actually want. This is the crafting area. We've got the 4 kind of crafting machines. And these are right next to the cargo bay, the internal cargo bay. And as John says, this holds up to 1,000 SCU of cargo, so it's pretty sizable. To make it a little bit easier, it's got its own dedicated cargo lift at the back that, again, just simplifies that kind of getting cargo in and out of the vehicle. Down at the front, we have the drone room. Now, these will be 4 extra large drones, so they'll be able to craft our largest structures in game. They exit the ship out through the roof, and they're all controlled by the construction console in this area. And finally, we're just going to take a quick look at the crafting area on the ship. So you can see here we've got these blast shields down that kind of protect the crew in this area from what's going on inside. And then as these open up, we just finished making a storm. And as we see, there's a ramp that leads out, so you can drive any ground vehicles straight out the front. Between all the landing gear, and you get this really nice kind of like sense of scale as you're driving underneath out the front of the ship. And we've also got the top exit for any flight vehicles. And then finally, we have the landing pad And this just allows us for any ships that land up on deck, we can just bring them down into the belly of.
Let's have a quick look at just some, emphasis on some, of the vehicles that we're working on in the next 12 months.
No longer will we reference that the game is in development. This will be a fully released and polished experience. It means fully rounded gameplay loops, from new player experience to story missions and endgame content. And crucially, it will be tier 0. We'll be committing to a higher benchmark of quality for each patch.
Story and the PU. And the main story is also designed to be sort of like a tour bus structure where you can hop on and hop off at any time you want to, which needs very little introduction. I'm sure you're all very intimately familiar with these 4 corporate-run worlds. The lawless, a volatile star at the center of the system is the perfect. If you saw Ian's location presentation yesterday, then you know that Ian also made another big announcement of our 4th system, Castra. Yeah, this planet will be featuring the massive level of outposts, POIs, stations. So as you can see, there's going to be a universe of exciting storytelling opportunities for you to undertake in 1.0. But one more thing, we're also going to revitalize our social behaviors to make the populations not only feel more alive and reactive and off chairs, but better reflect the tone and flavor of the areas that they're inhabiting. We want to see the people of Loreville slowly trudging through the streets, overburdened by the root
economy where credits flow out as well as in. This means transactions such as repairing main taxes, inheritance tax as part of Death of a Spaceman, and security tax for your base that will cover the cost of planetary shield tech. Insurance, on the other hand, will be split between medical insurance, which covers your hospital imprints. We also need Death of a Spaceship. Losing your ship should be significant. Right now, for example, over 90% of all claims in the verse are for ships that have not been destroyed. And this is where ship insurance and our new warranty mechanic comes in. First up, itself will only pay out credits based on the wear and age of your ship. Insurance, I think you want to listen to this bit because it's important. You'll be able to earn transferable warranties in-game, such as by completing the main story, as an example, and apply them to any of the ships you own. But there will be a cooldown for transferring it between ships. And as we'll be increasing claim timers, this will mean some ships will take longer than others, with starter or small ships always being readily available, and larger capital-sized ships taking a long time, to crafting my own ships to enjoy other professions. And this is just one of many loops. This is the core of Star System 1.0. Bases on the ground that then linked to several stations in orbit around each planet, that then connected to the nearest relay in the SHIELD network. which eventually linked back to the shield core, which oversaw system-wide distribution. So once you've won your bid, what then? Well, to talk more about that, I'd like to welcome
Right at the bottom of the central transit system leads to the lower areas, such as mess halls or infirmaries or generator rooms. And of course, there are shops. So similar to these will all help slow down the attack. Others are geared towards defense, like shields or turrets. Example, a refinery wing. Finally, we have the hangar wing. So, all right. All major hardpoint wings are connected via struts, unlike the... You'll be able to apply decals for your org logos.
special. So that's you. You guys here coming together, supporting, watching, giving us, the team, the energy to make this game. So thank you, and we'll see you in the verse.